Home Cafe and Market is a showcase for how locally grown products can be used tastefully in terrific recipes. From the farm to the kitchen, the folks at Home Cafe and Market make every effort to let their customers savor the flavors that can only come from homegrown food.
Home Cafe is a full-service, fast casual dining concept with a focus on farm-to-table cuisine. We really wanted to focus on high-quality ingredients in a more casual setting. I have a Bachelor's of the Arts in Political Science from Miami of Ohio, which is actually a really good school and a really good poli-sci department. And I worked at a couple of law firms, and I was just like, I cannot do this. Like, I can't do this for the rest of my life. And I guess it's one of those moments where everybody goes through it. You've got to sit down and ask yourself what you want to do for the rest of your life. And for some crazy reason, I wanted to have a restaurant. I like being around people, I like this atmosphere, and I like the energy of restaurants. So I went that route. It's very important for me. I tell everyone, it's very important not only for me to open this restaurant, but for me to open this restaurant in my hometown, because I grew up in Bowling Green. My wife owns Home Cafe with me, and we often tell people we've never done anything harder than opening a restaurant. I tell everybody, we got the keys to the restaurant, we train for a day, and the next day we open. And it's restaurant nightmares. It's what everybody says definitely don't do, but we did it, and we're lucky that we did it very well. We were hopeful that maybe we would have 20 to 25 people, and we had like 150 people through the door on the first day. And even through our third day of service, we actually just ran out of food in the restaurant because we were so busy. I love the chaos of it, and I love all the energy and people moving tables from the back to the front and all of that. I love that, and that to me, that's what home was always about, and that's what mealtime was about with my family. And Chelsie and I spend about 100 hours a week here, so it's home for us. When we first opened, I would say probably 50% of people came in and just like back to the wall, like against the back door, and like shook their head and walked out. And so I tell everybody that was the beginning. About 50% of the customers we would just lose because there were a lot of words on the menu that they didn't recognize, and they didn't want to take the time to ask us what they were and how we did things. But then as people started eating the food, slowly became 20% and then 10%. And I tell everybody, then one night we cooked a hamburger and nobody walked out ever again. It's the focus on the ingredients, definitely, and it's that we try to have every dish tell a story. When you get the margarita pizza here, the base ingredients are pretty much the same as margarita pizzas all across town, but my tomatoes come from Nathan Howell at Needmore Acres Farm. You can go out to his farm on Cemetery Road, and if you come on the right day, those tomatoes were picked that morning, came off the vine, and came and put on the pizza. For me, I buy a tomato that's ripe on the vine. Same's the case with watermelons, really any produce. And so it's a selfish reason for me, because I want the best product possible hitting the table. And then outside of the chef perspective, it's the human perspective. It means a lot to me that my restaurant supports families, and I know these families and I'm friends with them, and I'm helping their family grow and I'm helping their kids grow. It's more important to just focus on these relationships and support the local economy. You've got farmers here that are growing their tomatoes on 1.5 acres of land and coming to the farmers market. So it really just helps bolster the local economy. For me, it's fun, and it's about that personal connection. And I love, there's a big saying with farmers, shake the hand that feeds you. And I love having them at my restaurant. And even while you guys were setting up, my tomato guy was here, and it's so neat for me to get to say, this is the guy that grows my food, and you can go to his farm that's 3 miles from here. Another big reward of the restaurant has been people drawing the connection between the farmers we use and then them going to the farmers market and buying from those farmers because they know that's who we use. And so that's always really neat to see. The ultimate goal for us is always 100% local. I mean, that's what we work towards all the time. It's really finding a way to commit ourselves 100% local ingredients and You know, Chelsie and I are always pushing ourselves as chefs, and so we spend a lot of time in Nashville. We're going to Chicago soon. We're going to Texas for a month in January, just because we like to explore different cities, different cuisines, and that way home's always changing.